claims as the ceasefire with Israel remains in place, going on state TV after posting on social media.
Despite the killing of top generals and scientists, the reported destruction of large amounts of military hardware, and what President Donald Trump claims was the obliteration of Iran's nuclear program, the Islamic Republic's supreme leader has congratulated the Iranian people on victory over Israel, and he claims delivering a hard slap to the face of America. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei says the U.S. only entered the war to stop Israel being completely destroyed.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. In a few minutes, we'll get a much different assessment of the U.S. airstrike that hit Iran's nuclear facilities, feared to be making weapons, from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth at a Pentagon briefing.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe stating this, quote, CIA can confirm that a body of credible evidence indicates Iran's nuclear program has been severely damaged by the recent targeted strikes. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard adding, if the Iranians chose to rebuild, they would have to rebuild all three facilities entirely, which would likely take years to do.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House. That's after an initial Pentagon assessment suggesting that there was only perhaps limited damage in Iran, and that was leaked to the media, prompting the White House to say it'll only give limited information and briefings on the airstrikes to the Senate today and House tomorrow. Kilmar Abrego Garcia remains jailed, even though a federal judge in Tennessee wants to release him while the alleged gang member awaits trial. But she's concerned immigration agents could take him into custody and try to deport him again.
Garcia was mistakenly deported to El Salvador earlier this year, despite a judge's decision in 2019 protecting him from deportation over fears of gang persecution. When he was returned from El Salvador, he was charged with human trafficking.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Prosecutors will start closing arguments today at Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial in federal court in New York. America's listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Not guilty. That's what a House Democrat pleaded in federal court, vowing to fight the charges stemming from a scuffle that Congresswoman LaMonica McIver had with immigration agents last month.
New Jersey Democratic Congresswoman LaMonica McIver is charged with assaulting, resisting, and impeding Homeland Security investigators during a May visit to the Delaney Hall Detention Center. She represents the 10th Congressional District, which includes Newark, where the facility is located, and pleaded not guilty on Wednesday, saying the case is about, quote, political intimidation.
The Trump administration and his, him and his colleagues or cronies, whatever you want to call them, have weaponized the federal government.
McIver and other Democratic lawmakers say they were on an inspection visit at the center as part of their congressional oversight role. In New York, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
A police officer is recovering in stable condition in Santa Monica, California, the morning after being shot.
Santa Monica Police Chief Ramon Batista says an officer recognized an individual believed to be wanted in connection with a prior incident when the suspect opened fire with a handgun.
The suspect fired multiple rounds at the officer and fled the area on foot.
The suspect arrested thanks to a tip after police shared a photo online describing him as a black man in his 30s. Chief Batista says officials believe the suspect is homeless and could be the same individual who recently shot and injured two teens riding in a Waymo. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising up more than 100 points for the Dow and the Nasdaq. The NBA draft started last night and history was made.
The Nets became the first team ever with 5 players in the first round of a draft. The evening began as expected with the Dallas Mavericks selecting Cooper Flagg out of Duke. Then Dylan Harper from Rutgers went to the Spurs. The 76ers picked third and went with VJ Edgecombe from Baylor. The Hornets took Con Knippel from Duke with the 4th pick. Ace Bailey from Rutgers went 5th to the Utah Jazz.
That's Fox's Jared Max. Round 2 of the draft is tonight. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Yeah, I don't know who's watching tonight necessarily, but Kasparis Yakajonas went number 20. Will Riley went number 21.
Yes.
I'll give you the numbers on a deal when you're positioned in the first round of the NBA draft. I shall tell you about that. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J. Good morning. It is a beautiful morning if you like summer, and we do. So this is June 26th. You know, a week from Friday, 4th of July, a great place to watch that thing would be Research Park, maybe the I Hotel. I've been in there during the fireworks is awesome. You're going to have speakers there playing the music.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be all timed out. And, you know, it is an awesome property. I love the I Hotel. Peter and Kim Fox are legendary around here.
Absolutely.
We love Peter Fox. And by the way, will there ever be another Sam?
No.
You ever be another guy that is known by Cher, Sam, Sergio?
That's all you got, man. You need is Sam.
Yeah, we love Research Park I Hotel, and that is a really sneaky place to watch it if you can figure out how you're going to park.
Absolutely.
It's a good view, no trees. You really got a great look at it. Well, that's a week away. Mr. Greg Solier, our meteorologist, has been giving us nice, good heat, and we've had that. And
right?
Sir,
but looking better as Tolono Fun Day is on the horizon.
Yeah, Diane has Tolono Fun Day.
High only 89.
Tomorrow and Saturday, so a virtual cool wave at 89.
Exactly.
So, Gregory, it continues, doesn't it?
Yeah, it continues on, and a little bit of a rain. Some spots got a pretty good healthy downpour yesterday. Others missed out, but incrementally so going forward. Increasing rainfall chances will ease temperatures down, ease the humidity. That's going to take a little while longer, but will help to ramp up a pretty good outbreak of some rainfall around here for the beginning part of next week. So a win-win for everyone.
All right, weather with Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you they're always looking for great members of the team. If you're into healthcare and you'd like to apply for a new chapter of your life, carl.org/careers.
All right, sir, what say you?
Well, we've got the heat advisory still here through the Bloomington, Normal, McLean County area, Piatt County, east and western Indiana. Not in it, but just splitting hairs on technicalities through areas of Ford and Iroquois counties on northward, but a muggy morning nonetheless already at 75 at Kankakee River Valley, 77 over at Vermilion County Airport in Danville, and 77 at Champaign over here in the airport locales, and pretty much a muggy morning with those dew points in the 70s. Big rains making their way out of central and eastern Nebraska, northwest Iowa, southwest parts of Wisconsin. That's the actual cool front kind of waffling its way through the western Corn Belt. Again, expected to arrive here over the back end of the weekend, early next week. So for Tolono Fun Days, still some sticky weather and some rainfall chances, but a lot of dry hours mixed in between. Just like today, but we'll still run to 92. Light south wind, partly sunny skies, and the rain chances slowly increase to 40% later this morning and this afternoon. They'll wind down tonight at 74, ramp up tomorrow to 60% odds late morning and afternoon, partly sunny at around 91. 89 the forecast high, or at least close to it on Saturday, and back to the lower 90s on Sunday. Iffy on the rainfall chances for Saturday, but then some pretty good odds later Sunday to Monday as a cool front approaches. Highs in the upper 80s on Monday with additional showers and thunderstorms, and 80s by day, 60s at night, more typical late to June, early July weather for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm just Greg Solier.
Yeah, okay, here we go. You know, it's the turn of the corner of Tolono Fun Days on Friday, Saturday, the 4th of July following that.
Yeah.
It's, downhill. All right, they turned the corner about 4th of July. So.
I mean, really, last week when we were talking about summer beginning, and we were talking about days are shorter after this, and I'm like, oh, man, it's just going so quickly. I was getting coffee at Casey or in Philo, and somebody was saying, I can't believe Fun Days this weekend. How could it be the last weekend of June? So, and obviously, it's just an online search away. If you type it into your computer and search all the options for you, or if you want to volunteer or get involved or donate, TolonoFundays.org and July4th.net.
Congratulations to Kasparis Yakajonas. He slipped all the way to 20. I say slipped because so many of the board people that are supposed to know this had him in the top 10, top 12, top 14. But here's the deal for both Kasparis Yakajonas, who played a year, and Will Riley, who was picked right after him at 21.
Yeah, both one and done players.
Total value for the 20th pick is... Anybody?
I really have no. $3 million.
$17,000,000.
Whoa.
$700,000.
Man.
Year 1, 3.66.
Okay.
Year 2, 3.8 to 4 million. Years 3 and 4, team controlled at scale, around 4 million by year 4.
Wow.
So being drafted 20th pays off quickly, nearly 18 million guaranteed.
Man.
Just like that. How about the 21st pick, Will Riley? I think it's different. Does it cut off at 20? According to Spot Track, the projected 4-year contract for Will Riley, total value $17,220,000 or $500,000 less than his teammate.
Okay.
Year 1 salary $3.5, and that's only $150,000 less than Kaspar's. Year 1 salary $3.5. Years 2 to 4 built-in raises follow standard progression. But as I understand it, pick 21, year 1 is 2.9, year 2 is 3 million, year 3 is a team option. So I think they don't have to keep you.
I see.
He was drafted, Will Riley drafted by Utah, and 4 minutes later traded to Washington.
Washington Wizards.
What? Wait a minute. How many miles between Utah and
Washington?
Washington?
I just got this hat on my head, and now I'm adjusting.
What part of Canada is Will from? Because it might actually be better if he's in Washington.
Is it Ontario?
I'm not sure. Anyway, there you go. So, listen, it's enough. Well-handled people with well-handled views of financial, these guys should be done for their life if they're smart. Because you ought to be able to take a couple of $1 million when you're 18 and live on something less and let that build with compounding interest for about 45 years. And you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, Kitchener, Canada is near Ontario.
And Ontario is left or right?
Oh, boy.
I'm not great.
I'm not good at geography.
Even though they'll probably be in my 51st state. I don't know them well. That's just a little side thing.
Okay.
Anyway, it's great. Great news. And what does that do to Illinois recruiting when you can say, Io DeSumo, yeah, he's in the league. Terrence Shannon's going to be a star. I had 2 guys in the first round. I top 21. I think those are 2 highest. We had Darren Williams and Luther Head in 05, 2 in the first round, but Darren was pretty high and Luther was near the end. So at 20 and 21, that's pretty impressive stuff. And so what does that do? Well, you go and you say, hey, Mom, we've had some real success getting guys in the league. So, and when you show players that come through Illinois and Brad Underwood, I think that'd help your recruiting. And the Balkan guys all want to go pro.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see, but good news, I thought, for the Fighting Illini. And
Ontario, by the way, is above Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and like Toronto borders New York. So
I was thinking that Utah to Washington's a long drive, and they're going to be closer to Washington than they are Utah.
Right.
Spot, so
okay.
You go watch your son
Good
play.
to be thinking about the family and our Illini family and to see them so successful. And I was thinking, 89, Nick Anderson and Kenny Battle. And then 05, we had Darren Williams and Luther Head. So it just doesn't happen.
Last time was 05, but we did have a couple of in the first round. Yeah, you're right.
And really not bad for Coach Brad Underwood. A few more players in the draft with Io going to the Bulls in 21 and last year.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Terrence Shannon Jr.
You got credibility when you guys got guys in the league.
Absolutely.
And very, very few make the league. By the way, they're not going to play. Not now.
Right.
I would think
essentially practice players.
Well,
right?
I don't know. Kaspar's in Miami, they need a ball handler, and he had a lot of turnovers the last half of the year for sure. 123. That's a lot. Anyway, so he's going to play a little more in Miami. Will's not ready, and he's not going to play, I wouldn't think, because the Wizards aren't any good. Who knows? The fact is they got drafted. They're rich, and it's good news. 7:14, sports.
And Cooper Flagg went first. He was the 18-year-old who went to Duke and went to the Dallas Mavericks 6'8". I mean, I guess everything kind of went as planned.
Yeah. No,
Duke with a few players. Rutgers had a few
Duke
players.
had 3 in the top 10.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm good.
Right.
3 in the top 10? Come on, man.
Right. So congratulations to our Illini. Moving on, we're so proud of Kasparas Yakachonis and Will Riley. Cubs came out on top yesterday. It was now it's 2 out of 3, and we have Game 4 to find out if it'll be a split series. 1:15. You can hear the action on ESPN 93.5 or over on US 105.9. Your home for the Cubs. Let's get your Redbird recap.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and I was told by my parents years ago, Ricky, if you don't have anything nice to say about something, don't say anything. So we have a game today at 1:15. I guess we do have to talk a little bit about the game last night. But from the first pitch of the game where Ian Happ homered off Eric Fetty, it was all Cubs, and the Cubs walloped the Cardinals 8-0.
Not a good day for the Cardinals. Eric Fetty was not able to miss the Cubs' bats early on. In fact, they had a lot of home runs early. Cardinals couldn't get anything going offensively on their side, and you're going to have games like that. Just a clunker.
And with Garrett Hampson starting in center field, and he came in to pitch the ninth inning and got 3 outs on 3 pitches.
There's something positive to talk about. I don't believe I've ever seen that. 3 pitches, 3 outs in 1 inning. That's an immaculate inning.
Andre Palante, he is going to pitch against Shota Imanaga on the air 12:20. Ricky has the lineups at 1:05 as the Cardinals go for 3 out of 4 against the Cubs.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Chicago White Sox over Arizona 7-3 yesterday. University of Illinois Division of Intercollegiate Athletics announcing yesterday that wrestling champion Lucas Bird and track and field All-American Takora Humphrey are the winners of the 2024-25 Dyke Edelman Awards.
Love Dyke Edelman.
It was, so impactful. I'm so glad that they have this award with his honor, and Bird earns the 11th Edelman Award in the history of Fighting Illini wrestling program. You might remember Isaiah Martinez. He came to our studios a few times, and he was back-to-back in 16 and 17 winners of that. So congratulations to those who won the Dyke Edelman Award.
Dyke was an outstanding athlete. I don't know, how many letters did he win? It was unbelievable how athletic he was. And he was from, I believe, Edwardsville, Illinois, but he was one of the all-time greats, and he worked with the DIA for years. But always so friendly, always so energetic. I love Dyke Edelman.
And they started this award for the male and female athletes of the year under his name in 1983.
That's awesome.
And he first won the Athlete of the Year award in 1940. So.
Yeah, no, he was a punter, among other things, but he was just a great athlete, great Illini. I look up his stats.
I mean, you look at basketball, football, track and field in 43, 46 through 49, combining 11 varsity letters in his career.
Yep, he was a proponent of me getting a varsity I award. He was trying to get me, lobbying to get me that. I was just
for doing
loving Illinois, and supporting Illinois. But he was Teddy
baseball?
Told me no, it wasn't sports. It was support.
I mean, you did try out for EIU.
Well, I did. Yeah, that's true. But I love Dyke and Teddy, and just great, outstanding human beings.
Absolutely,
one of the two great people at Illinois. Mm-hmm. Okay, we check your weather. Brought to you by the Urbana Park District,
and they've got stuff going on today. A play date in the park. If you'd like to check that out at Crestview after 5:30. So many great programs, including the Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center. UrbanaParks.org.
TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier. Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday, and the beat goes on. Some rainfall in spots yesterday in the form of a couple of downpours. Others missed on out. We'll do it again for the day-to-day. Increased rainfall chances tomorrow. Back them off for the day on Saturday. Pick them on up on Sunday to Monday. That's ahead of a cool front with drier air on the move and at least slightly cooler temperatures by Tuesday of next week. But up to 92 today. High humidity and a shower thunderstorm breaks out later this morning and more so this afternoon under a partly sunny sky in between. Warm and humid tonight down to 74. Lingering shower thunderstorm early and late. Tomorrow up to 60% odds for a late morning and afternoon. Shower thunderstorm, partly sunny, hot, humid, and 91. Near 90, more clouds and sun, heat and humidity, and a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Lesser odds for the day Saturday. Increasing odds Sunday to Monday with a high of 92 on Sunday, 89 Monday. Highs in the 80s, nights in the 60s. Drier air, less humidity next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's another sign of continuing strong demand for technology involving artificial intelligence. Memory chip maker Micron Technology saw sales and earnings jump in the recent quarter. It's seeing booming demand for memory used in artificial intelligence systems. Shoppers are still spending at discount fashion chain H&M. Its earnings topped expectations. It's been expanding from its low-cost fashion base to offer higher quality products and has been moving more manufacturing closer to its major markets. Travel company Booking.com is being sued by two consumer groups in the Netherlands who accuse the company of overcharging. Booking is also parent company of Priceline and Kayak. Booking didn't immediately respond to the complaint. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. Listen and follow the Fox News Hourly Update at foxnewspodcasts.com or ask your smart speaker to play Fox News.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Yeah, watching the NBA draft last, John Decker coming up here in less than 10 minutes. Watching the NBA draft, started wondering, how hard is it to get from where you are to where you want to go? So if you look at the NFL, college to NFL, how many guys make the NFL?
Okay.
So if you have a 1,000 players, about 16.
Man.
If you have 100 players, you have about 1.5 player make the NFL.
Wow.
1.5 out of 100. Now, you know, guys at Illinois, they're all pretty good.
Sure.
NFL, 1.6.
And to think the college players to get there is, terrific. Look how much work they put in.
Well, NBA,
think, your kids going to summer camp and you're doing travel ball and you're following them around. You're going all over the place. It's just, wow, to hear these percentages of who actually makes it.
NBA is about as hard. It's just a little bit better. College players of the National Basketball Association's, actually, that's harder than the NFL. It's harder to go from college NFL, NBA than it is college NFL.
Okay.
It's amazing. Well, there are more players.
Yeah.
College players making the NBA 1.2 out of 100, you get one person. Or, 300 people, you might get 3.5. I mean, it's just so hard. And so, all these kids, they just want to play in the league.
Right.
The coach is holding you back. You can't make it with that. You've got to change schools. So, to run to the NIL, Coleman Hawkins, Kansas State, $2 million, brilliant. Because he's not going to play in the NBA. He might play G League, could play Europe.
Right.
You can do well in Europe now. You play for 5 to 10 years in Europe, you could bank some coin, I think.
And what is it about the European way of bringing up kids and having them express going to, getting almost professional at 14?
It's what they do when Casper started. They announced last night on the draft that he started when he played 3 years old.
I know.
And then you had a kid drafted ahead of Casper that started when he was 21. What?
Yes, he was going to be a soccer player, but the cleats didn't fit right or something.
So he says, I'll play basketball. What kind of athlete freak are you?
I know.
I don't think I'll play in the NBA, but I'll go ahead and play in professional baseball. How do you do that?
Right.
Anyway, the baseball player actually has the least chance. Now, there's 10% chance you go in college pro, but that counts as 6,000 spots on the minor leagues. To go to college and make the Major League Baseball roster is 0.5% to 1%. Because think about how difficult, and that makes Jacobs, my son-in-law's path, just to get there. Even it's not a long stint so far. It's just really, you can't imagine there are players all over the world that want to get in what you're doing. And every day somebody wants your spot. It's just really hard to be a, quote, established player in any professional sport.
Right.
Very, very, very few. That's why you go to college, they're really good at whatever. They are good. I conclude that if you play any of your sports past senior in high school, you're amazing. It could be Knox College, and you're amazing. Division III, smallest school, worst football team, you're amazing. You know how good these players are? You go to a Division III football game going, crap, he's so big and he's so quick. Well, maybe they develop a little later. Maybe they get a little better as they go.
Yeah.
You can't say when you're 18 years old, you're done. A lot of guys grow a foot.
I know.
I mean,
when you talk to Terrence Shannon Jr.
He was 5'7" at 14 years old. And now he's a really, really bright young star in the NBA. It's just difficult to do that. To have had two to the roles, exciting. We got two more. Casper Jonas, Will Riley will play in the NBA at some point, and one of them probably sooner than later. Kasparis is in his position in Miami where they have a real need for a ball handler, and even though he had a lot of turnovers, he's only 18. Guy's got some ability to pass it, and he can make threes. I don't think he was as good as he's going to be, but in any event, it's fun to see your guy's name called on the green room, but I know there's nervousness because it was getting kind of late. 20 and 21 is where they went. Kasparis 20, Will Riley 21 in last night's NBA first-round draft.
Yep.
Okay, we'll get John Decker going live from Heathrow Airport on his way back.
Yes.
I shall ask him if he minds people like me getting on his aeroplane, looking up at the coach versus business class. And I'll look at the business class going, wow, that's so cool. Can I come up and look?
I want one of those warm towels,
I don't think John will mind being in business class looking at the kettle in the back. We'll check.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's another sign of continuing strong demand for technology involving artificial intelligence. Memory chip maker Micron Technology saw sales and earnings jump in the recent quarter. It's seeing booming demand for memory used in artificial intelligence systems. Shoppers are still spending at discount fashion chain H&M. Its earnings topped expectations. It's been expanding from its low-cost fashion base to offer higher quality products and has been moving more manufacturing closer to its major market.
Defending the strikes in Iran, in defending against the initial leaked report that the bombs didn't destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities. Also discussing,
because of decisive military action, President Trump created the conditions to end the war, decimating, choose your word, obliterating, destroying Iran's nuclear capabilities.
Also discussing,
he said NATO needs to pay up. They started in the first term, and here in his second term, we've accelerated that. 32 NATO countries committed to spending 5% of their GDP on defense, on actually investing in the NATO alliance.
America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Garden Hills Academy in Champaign placed on lockdown Tuesday after shots fired about a half mile away. Police were spotted near Garden Hills Drive and Summer Lane just before 11:30 a.m. after the gunfire. Now, the all clear was eventually given. No word on any suspects. Illinois State Fire Marshal urging fireworks safety over the 4th. The Fire Protection Association says fireworks started more than 31,000 fires in 2022. These fires caused about 6 deaths, dozens of injuries, and many millions of dollars in direct property damage. Champaign County Coroner identified the 3 who died in the crash near Ludlow Tuesday. The driver of the pickup, 62-year-old Scott Moiser of Paxton. The driver of the car involved was 56-year-old Joyce Surratt of Ludlow. Both drivers died on the scene. A passenger in Surratt's car, 30-year-old Kelsey Greider of Ludlow, also died in that crash. Police and fire continue to investigate. You're locally up to date. From the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom, I'm Jim Miller.
This week, it's the one sale pet lovers can't afford to miss. The Pets Pick Flooring event at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. First, get a free labor credit on every carpet and floor. Get a $50 labor credit for every 100 feet you buy. Get up to a $1,000 rebate on great pet-friendly carpets and floors from Shaw. Ask how you can get free accessories or area rugs with your furniture purchase. And buy it all with 2 years free financing. The Pets Pick Flooring event is going on now at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
Champaign! It's time to celebrate a hometown legend. This Saturday, July 19th from noon to midnight, Pia Sports Bar and Grill is throwing the party of the year, their 50-year anniversary celebration. Since 1975, Pia's has been the place for cold drinks, hot food, softball championships, and unforgettable memories. Grab a special 50-year souvenir cup, t-shirt, or hat and win fun giveaways throughout the day. Be a part of Champaign history at Pia's 50-year anniversary celebration this Saturday on July 19th from noon to midnight.
ESPN 93.5. We check your weather, brought to you by Kramer's Siding and Windows.
Your premier provider for home improvement, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing. Maybe it's time for great outdoor living with a new pergola. Check it out, kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. And the beat goes on with a roll of the dice chance for some rainfall today. All or nothing, as was the case yesterday and the day before. Better odds with a weather system up aloft, moving on through the heat and humidity tomorrow afternoon. Lesser rain chances on Saturday, then approaching cool front will generate more widespread rainfall. Sunday and Monday, relief in store. Mid to late next week with temperature and more so humidity in mind. Up to 92 today, partly sunny. Couple of showers and thunderstorms break out in spots later this morning. More so for the afternoon. Light south wind apart from the thunderstorm activity. Warm and humid tonight. Lingering shower thunderstorm chance this evening. And again overnight, low down to 74. Partly sunny, hot, humid again for the day tomorrow up around 91. But the rain chances tomorrow afternoon increase to 60%. A couple of widely scattered Scattered showers and thunderstorms, lesser rain odds on Saturday at around 90. And showers and thunderstorms on the increase Sunday to Monday, 92 on Sunday, 89 on Monday, drier air and in the 80s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgay.
John Decker, John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker.
Yes, even
John
children in
Decker.
combines, ladies and gentlemen, singing the theme of the John Decker Gray Television White House correspondent theme. John from, I guess, London this morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm flying back from the Netherlands where the NATO summit was taking place. I was there for almost a full week, and obviously there during the president's 2-day trip to the Netherlands for the NATO summit, and looking forward to getting back to Washington, D.C., but it was a very good trip. It was a good trip for me professionally. It was a good trip actually for the president. You know, he got a big win. You know, he got all of the NATO countries to step up in terms of pledging to increase their spending on defense, and that's something that the president has been pushing for more than a decade.
Unbelievable. They were trying to get people to 3% off of 2%, and they get 5%. I mean, that is some big number, and I think it changed somewhat when they announced the spectacular success of the bombing of the Iranian nuclear sites. Where were you when you heard the news about that? Were you over there already?
I was over there already. You know, it happened overnight my time. So I wake up in the morning, and that, you know, my phone's blowing up. I see that news as I wake up, and it was a surprise given the fact that last week Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, indicated that the president was going to give Iran 2 weeks' time, you know, to sort of see if diplomacy works out. And the president obviously caught them off guard in a big way. And you heard him at the press conference really touting the success of that mission.
Well, it reminds me of, you know, the Persian Gulf when they said George Herbert Walker Bush should go into Baghdad, get this done now, and he said that wasn't the mission. The mission isn't regime change, but it's hard to figure out how you can still have, you know, people that want you dead still in power.
Well, that's right. You know, I think that's something that the Trump administration has to figure out, you know, in the long term. In the short term, what the president's spokespeople have said is if there's regime change, it would happen at the direction of the Iranian people. It would happen organically. It would not happen at the direction of the U.S. government.
Generally, the ones with the guns win those, so I don't know if the army would shift or somebody within power within, or they're all exiled. Interesting.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you're right about that. You know, we saw that many years ago in Tiananmen Square. The guns win. You're absolutely right about that. But you never know. You know, I mean, there is dissent that happens, but it's generally put down by the government that's in power in Tehran. So we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, the president, I think he's right when he says that Iran, right now, as things stand today, does not pose any type of threat to Israel or to any other countries in the Middle East. Now, that's right now. Things can change, you know, 6-9 months from now. But as things stand today, that was a successful mission.
How would you describe John Decker on the ground there for the NATO, now in London, ready to come home? How would you describe the body language of other leaders toward Trump following all of this?
Yeah, you know, that's a good question. You know, I think that, you know, I see it with the NATO Secretary General to begin with. His name is Mark Rutte. He's the former Prime Minister of the Netherlands. He has a very good relationship with President Trump, and you can tell. He respects the president respects him, and that's important, you know, when you're talking about trying to make NATO be a powerful force, you know, against Russia, you know, and that's the whole goal of the NATO Defense Alliance. So, you know, I think that he, as the leader of the NATO Defense Alliance, is someone that the other leaders recognize as someone who understands the president. And, you know, to me, it's a different vibe entirely, Stevie, than one full year ago when President Biden was in office, and he was representing the United States at the NATO Defense Alliance.
Yeah, a lot different, I'm sure. Okay, so now the way forward. What is on the to-do list for Donald Trump here in the next month?
Get that big, beautiful bill passed.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that he has on his plate. He wants to get it done a week from tomorrow by July 4th. I think, that's going to be difficult. That's always been an artificial deadline. I never thought that was important to get it done by July 4th. The important thing is that he gets it done in his first year in office, before those tax cuts expire. So if they're reasonable about that, I think they can certainly get that done.
Okay, because that's got to be a priority. And do you think they will get it done?
I do. I don't think the bill's going to look like the bill that came out of the House. It's going to take some compromise. There's a very narrow majority that Republicans have in both the House and the Senate. But that narrow majority also existed in the president's first year in office. He got that tax cut bill passed in the first year in office. And I think he'll get this so-called big, beautiful bill passed during his first year in office of his second term.
Okay. Have you been tracking what's been going on in the primary in New York City?
That's a shocker. I have. Unbelievable.
What?
I wasn't. What is right? I just paid attention from afar. I thought Andrew Cuomo's got that locked up. Name recognition, a former two-term governor of the state of New York. But wow, what a surprise! What a shocker! And it's also a shocker in terms of who beat him. He's a person who identifies as a socialist. So that's pretty interesting, to say the least, in terms of the results that happen in New York City.
Zohran Mamdani, some such, nobody had ever, Assemblyman right now in New York, but apparently he makes AOC look a little moderate. So there's that.
Yeah, she endorsed him. Bernie Sanders endorsed him. And this is the amazing thing, I think. 33 years old.
Yeah.
33 years old. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but we're talking about essentially anti-Semitic. He wants to sanction Israel. I mean, how many Jewish people will live in New York City after this? They'll be in Florida.
Well,
they're all going to Florida.
Large population.
Yeah.
It's a large population. And look, it gives you a sense about, the dislike of Andrew Cuomo. They're tired of him. And here's someone who entered the race with 1%. 1% in the polls, and he ends up beating Andrew Cuomo. Really remarkable.
His mom's a film producer, and he's been unbelievable on TikTok. Is TikTok that powerful?
I guess. It's he came out of nowhere. Just a real shocker, real surprise. So he is now the Democratic nominee, and we'll see if Mayor Adams can, as an independent, beat him. That'll be a race to watch, and who knows? Maybe Trump will get involved and endorse Mayor Adams.
You've got Silva, the Republican guy with the hat. I don't know much about him, but that's
Curtis Lewa.
Who is
he? He's the founder of the Guardian
Angels. That's right.
Yes.
Is he a? I mean, I would suggest no hat, but I know that's his look. But anyway.
Yeah, that's right. That's a beret. It's a beret.
Okay, beret. That's
not
it.
a hat.
That's right. My bad.
Yeah, red beret.
Well, anyway, it's rocking the entire New York City area, and of course the world looking up, going, wait a minute, you're going to get a really, maybe it's communist, I don't know, socialist, I don't know. You have to examine what he believes in.
I don't know either.
But you can't give free things to everybody without paying 70% tax. I don't get it. What are they thinking?
That's right. That's right. Look, I think that the residents of New York have to factor in a lot of things, but as the Democratic nominee, he's got a huge built-in advantage to win in the general election, and, anything can happen. I mean, look, the primary proved that. The fact that Andrew Cuomo lost, anything can happen, so we'll see what happens in the general election.
All right, just a couple more questions for John Decker live at Heathrow Airport in London, England. Do you think the progressives will remain in control of the Democratic Party, or will there be a moment where the Chuck Schumers of the world say, you guys go your way, we're going to go our way?
I don't know. It's a great question. Look, they're a very powerful force in the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, Stevie, looks so much different. Think about it than when Bill Clinton was president. I mean, it's been a progressive takeover of the Democratic Party. And that's not a winning coalition, if you want to win the White House for sure.
Well, okay. John Decker, who asks the tough questions and the light goes on. I mean, they point to you, you're in go mode, then you follow up. And it's quite remarkable. They call on Stevie J. I would go, man, how are you so good?
Right. Too funny.
And then Donald Trump said, I like this guy. Who's this guy?
Yeah, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, one last question. When I board the airplane and I'm going, London to Washington, do you guys mind that we're looking up at you at business class going, man, that looks neat? Do you care that I'm looking over there and kind of getting a picture of all you?
That's right.
Yeah. Because you get real silverware, don't you, up there?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah.
Forks, knives.
And is it really like a complete lay down thing, or is it big seat and TV and all that stuff?
Lie flat, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you cared that I kind of peeked up there like us cattle always do.
I do care. I care, of course. I'm a man of the people, Stevie.
Could you please close the curtain on those people back there?
That's right. No, that's not.
No,
me.
I know. With your schedule, we need Gray. I'll call Hilton. We need a private jet for you, man.
There you go. That's right.
14-seater.
That's all we need.
The bedroom. Listen, keep up your great coverage, great work, John Decker, journalist extraordinaire. We appreciate your time from Heathrow this morning. We'll talk to you in a week.
Thanks, Stevie. Thanks for having me on today. We'll talk real soon.
You bet. John Decker, live from Heathrow this morning. Great Television's White House correspondent, national correspondent. Always fantastic to have him on. Yeah, it's great. He's actually going to be vacationing next week, so we'll miss John for a week and then back up in 2 weeks. As the summertime, people scramble to get their time in and vacate.
Well, and especially the 4th of July being on a Friday, a lot of people are looking at taking July, the beginning of July off, since July starts on Tuesday.
Yep, so you only miss 4 days of work.
That's right.
As opposed to 5, as far as your time off stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Count those days.
How are we doing things?
We're off on the 4th.
Okay. Good to get that in.
Yeah, on air meeting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and of course, the 4th of July parade at 4:30. Technically speaking, I would have a little more time to be on the air on the 4th with you, Stevie, but it is nice to have time with family.
No, it's off. We're off because the schedules are so different.
It is.
And the people listening now driving to work for 7 minutes, they're not going to work.
Yeah.
On that Friday morning. So why don't we take a day? Because,
we should.
Yeah. And we shall.
I love celebrating America this time of year.
And you know what? We need to get it going for the 250.
I know it. That starts planning on July 5th. And that's one reason why the Champaign County Freedom Celebration has kind of to me, a little bit of a practice round this year with this new concept of having everything more compact and, less cumbersome when it comes to the road closing and opening and all the volunteers that it takes to do the whole day kind of feel. This is 4:30 to essentially 10 as we do the parade at 4:30, then the evening program, and then the fireworks at 9:15. It'll be awesome.
Well, it will be. And I might be generalizing too much, but is it possible that my friends on the left appreciate America less than I do?
What?
The people on the left appreciate less this great country than me. Not talking about a regular, if there is such a thing, Democrat anymore. I'm talking about the progressives. Aren't they the ones saying how bad we are and we took this from the Indians and we need to blow this up, we need to start again because we're evil and the rest of the world is amazing and we're awful, and why are you here? Why are you here? I mean, this is an amazing deal and you don't know it because you've never been anywhere else. Mm-hmm. And if you have, go back. What is wrong with suggesting you go back if you don't love this?
That's right.
It's crazy. This is unbelievable what you've been given, and if they don't get it. And so even in Champaign County, where we are completely blue now, in at least the elected offices, I don't think that's true. I think it's 50-50, but I think the Republicans have kind of given up in a sense of saying, I don't know.
And in the end, is it worth it to be banging your head up against the wall when nobody wants to negotiate or be reasonable?
Well, it depends on who you're talking. If you're talking to, all you got to do to know where somebody is do you support police? If it's not a yes or no answer, you know what you have.
Okay.
You're talking about woke. Woke is a virus. Woke is a serious virus that can tear our country apart. So we ought to be jumping up and down and thanking the good Lord that we live in America. And I fear even in Champaign County, there are a lot of people that do not do that and think something awful about us and how we're so racist and bigoted and we just don't understand. You can't talk to those people. I'd love to, but there's no going to be a common ground there. They generally walk away or say something, F you. You know, that's just the language that the left uses is, I think, appalling.
Well, and I was talking to somebody about these float entries. Tolono Fun Days is coming up at 11 a.m. on Saturday and the 4th of July at 4:30. And they were saying, do you think there's going to be like protesting and rally type floats? I just don't want any of this American politics shoved down our throat this year.
Well, you always have some of that. So we'll see.
And I know, at least at July4th.net, there's a list of rules, and you need to be pro-American.
Well,
it's an American party.
Okay, that's my elegant rant for the morning. 217-359-2255 if you want to chime in on anything we say or the show exudes. You're welcome to do that.
Love that.
Fisher National Bank text line. Check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity, and the beat goes on. Some rainfall in spots yesterday in the form of a couple of downpours. Others missed on out. We'll do it again for the day-to-day. Increased rainfall chances tomorrow. Back them off for the day on Saturday. Pick them on up on Sunday to Monday. That's ahead of a cool front, drier air on the move, and at least slightly cooler temperatures by Tuesday of next week. But up to 92 today. High humidity and a shower thunderstorm breaks out later this morning and more so this afternoon under a partly sunny sky in between. Warm and humid tonight down to 74. Lingering shower thunderstorm early and late. Tomorrow up to 60% odds for a late morning and afternoon. Shower thunderstorm, partly sunny, hot, humid, and 91. Near 90, more clouds and sun, heat and humidity, and a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Lesser odds for the day Saturday. Increasing odds Sunday to Monday with a high of 92 on Sunday, 89 Monday. Highs in the 80s, nights in the 60s. Drier air, less humidity next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning. Do you have your sewer line cleaned every year? Are you constantly getting roots or blockages? Why deal with that headache year after year? Call Land's Drain Cleaning today at 217-355-5512 to have our expert staff come out, clean your line. We give you a free camera inspection, show you what's wrong, where it's at, and then we can offer you a repair for that problem so you don't have to deal with it again. Land's Drain Cleaning. Why call anyone else?
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Ata Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
Every week at this time, I call my son Nathaniel in Chicago, Nathaniel's son, and he gives us his feature on Did You Know? Are you in Chicago today?
Well, I am certainly in Chicago.
Okay.
Had the joy of being down in Texas earlier this week, but back up in the Midwest heat.
So you're 1 mile, essentially, or 1 minute, 1 mile to the Blue Line. Blue Line goes right into O'Hare Airport, like you're in the building walking toward, it's pretty convenient for you, isn't it?
You know, a quick anecdote is I've gotten comfortable enough with flying where for work I usually take an early flight, and we board at about 4:20 in the morning, and if I leave my house at about 4:05, I get through security at about 4:15 and walk right up to the gate when we start boarding.
Man, it's just right. And the flights from O'Hare to Dallas are pretty much on time, direct?
Oh, I think it's just like anything with flying. It's maybe about 80% of the time. It's pretty good, and then
the 20%. Yeah. All right, Did You Know? Nathaniel son, what have you today?
Well, this morning we're going to talk a little bit about some quirks with our society and how it relates to the composition of our body. Now, all of us might know and might not be surprised to hear that our bodies are great conductors of electricity. We all know this because of the risk of being electrocuted. You all know that you never put anything electrical in a bathtub, or you never stick your hand in an outlet. And most of that is because our body is mostly water. And we also have these chemicals and ions in our bodies, which are fantastic conductors of electricity. Potassium is a great example. However, did you know that because we conduct electricity so well through our body, we can actually use this in certain ways, in a couple ways that I think some of us might know, but maybe we never piece two and two together. If you ever are around a radio and you put your hand on the antenna, if you have a rough signal, the signal usually gets better because you've essentially magnified the antenna by probably 100-fold. But additionally, if you ever try to unlock your car and you're too far away, if you've ever been told to put the fob up to I've heard some people say you put it up to the bottom of your chin and you open your mouth. That's sort of a silly way to tell someone to if you open your mouth, it'll project the signal. But you can actually, stick it right up to anywhere on your head, really, and it truly will give you a much farther range for unlocking your car. And that is simply because we are conducting the electrical signal that's passing through our body, and we are a much greater antenna than the fob is.
Ben Quattrone at Sarah Champagne said, just put it up to your temple, and it'll work longer. It'll work farther away.
Fascinating.
If you lock your door with your fob, then it in your 100 feet away, it'll work from 200.
If I only would have known this, Nathaniel, when I was looking for my car after an Illini game, and it was like 4 degrees, and I had no idea where, and I kept hitting so it would cheep, 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 and the headlights would flash. I just couldn't find it anywhere. I should have just put the thing on my head.
Yeah. That's a good tip. It's amazing.
It does come in handy.
Amazing. Did not know that. Thank you so much.
No, I was just saying, so we got to be careful to not be electrocuted, but we can use it in good ways.
Yeah, there's a tip that I presume is so low power it won't hurt you at all.
Right.
You do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Nathaniel Son in Chicago, thank you as always. A pleasure on Thursdays to get your take.
Yes.
All right, take care.
Talk to you soon.
And little goo-goos and gagas coming from Josephine, his daughter, and your first grandchild.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I starting
see
to
little joy
catching on to this thing
out of Stevie's eyes these days when he brings up the pictures of his first grandchild.
No, it's just obviously she's way ahead. So see if you can hear her here on this little video. Allison going in the morning. She's kind of talking in a way that I'm not sure I know.
Well, you got to speak baby. Oh, look how sweet she is. If you're watching, it's DJAY-FM on X.
She's just gurgling and cooing, and she's
especially
doing
in the
so
morning
much.
or after a nap. They're just so bright-eyed.
And she just passed 5 months, and I think she's a little teething going on. That can start at 4 months. I didn't know that.
Okay.
So a little teething going on,
Right,
laking
we
maybe in there.
forget all these different stages and these developmental milestones.
Takes a minute to remember, and you're so engulfed if you're the parent.
That's right.
Changing the diaper, making sure they get the nap, the whole thing, feeding, obviously, and all of those great things. But yeah, it goes so quickly, and it does. But when you're in the moment, you're like thinking of the tasks you're doing versus observing.
Right.
And the grandparent role, as I'm finding out, is more hold and then hear. Because you're holding just for a while. Because everybody wants to hold her.
I know.
And so it's pretty cool though, just to get stuff like that, and it's so wonderful to get here. Yeah. So pretty cool. The news next. We're going to call our pitmaster next hour, Tim Onstad from Dedicated Diesel and Gale Fricks Trucking. But he has always some sort of outdoor grilling smoker kind of a thing because he's like a pro.
It's that time of year.
Yes, it
Love
is.
it.
We'll be back.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
For 50 years, Pia's has been the bar where champagne comes to play. From 7 a.m. beers to championship softball teams, legendary bartenders to unforgettable nights. On Saturday, July 19th from noon to midnight, come on out to celebrate 50 years of Pia's Sports Bar and Grill. There will be live bands and DJs all day featuring PSP at 2 p.m. and Voodoo XLs at 8. 50 years of Pia's, 50 years of Miller Lite, and 50 years of memories. It started in 1975 with a dream, and it's still the place you call home. You won't want to miss it. Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Iran's nuclear program was hit hard. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
You want to call it destroyed? You want to call it defeated? You want to call it obliterated? Choose your word. This was an historically successful attack, and we should celebrate it as Americans.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth a short time ago also took issue with what he called fake news. Reports of an initial Pentagon assessment suggesting the U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities over the weekend might have only done limited damage.
There are so many aspects of what our brave men and women did that, because of the hatred of this press corps, are undermined because your people are trying to leak and spin that it wasn't successful. It's irresponsible.
Now, that leak has the Trump administration limiting the information it'll give lawmakers in briefings on those airstrikes at the Senate today and the House tomorrow. Many Democrats claim the action was unconstitutional without congressional authorization. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Dan Kane, standing next to Hegseth this morning, said in the attack on the Fordo nuclear site.
The pilots stated, quote, "This was the brightest explosion that I've ever seen. It literally looked like daylight."
Earlier, Iran's supreme leader went on state TV, declaring victory over Israel and the U.S., claiming that the Americans gained no achievement and Iran slapped us in the face. A new vaccine advisory committee met for the first time and plans to reconsider vaccinations given to children. That panel was completely overhauled by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose vaccine skepticism has upset Democrats.
The panel's recommendations influence the official U.S. immunization schedule and determine which vaccines are covered by insurance. Earlier this week, Senate Health Committee Chair Bill Cassidy, a physician, called for a delay in the meeting, saying the group lacked experience.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Closing arguments start today at rapper and music producer Sean Diddy Combs' trial.
Combs faces several charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
Fox's Chanley Painter. America's listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like 2-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia remains jailed, despite a federal judge in Tennessee wanting to release the immigrant who'd been controversially deported and then returned. She's concerned immigration agents could take Abrego Garcia into custody and may try to deport him again. Abrego Garcia was sent, along with other alleged gang members, in March to El Salvador and then brought back from that country by court order. And when he was returned, he was charged with human trafficking. We got an update on the case against the man charged in the Boulder, Colorado terror attack.
An indictment unsealed by the Justice Department in Denver reveals Mohammed Solomon is charged with 12 hate crime counts. The 45-year-old Egyptian national is accused of targeting a group of demonstrators calling for the release of Israeli hostages, injuring at least 15 people and a dog with a flamethrower and Molotov cocktails. Federal prosecutors say when throwing one of the Molotov cocktails, he shouted, "Free Palestine," also alleging he told investigators he viewed anyone supporting the existence of Israel on our land to be Zionist, planning the attack for a year. He is also charged with 118 state counts, including for attempted murder and assault. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
We just got an update on unemployment this morning. The number of first-time claims dropped 10,000 last week, down to 236,000. However, there was a rise in how many people continue to collect jobless benefits, up 37,000 to 1.97 million. That's the most since November 2021. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising before the opening bell this hour. NBA teams got new players last night.
With the first pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flagg from Duke University.
Commissioner Adam Silver on ESPN. Dylan Harper was the second pick taken by San Antonio. The Brooklyn Nets made history, taking 5 players in the first round for acquiring more picks and trades. Round 2 of the NBA draft is tonight. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. CDC confirming the first human case of West Nile virus in the state of Illinois. Person from southern Illinois hospitalized due to complications of the infection. So far this year, West Nile confirmed in 19 counties. The first positive mosquito batch of the year found May 9th in Rockford. Last year, there were 69 confirmed cases. Champaign man charged in connection with the June 8 shooting that left a teen seriously hurt on the 200 block of Burr Oak Court June 8. 13-year-old with potentially life-threatening gunshot wounds. A second victim, a 15-year-old, suffered a gunshot wound to the hand. So far, the suspect's name not released. Champaign County coroner identified the 3 in a crash near Ludlow Tuesday. The driver of the pickup, 62-year-old Scott Moiser of Paxton. The driver of a car involved was 56-year-old Joyce Surratt of Ludlow. Both drivers died on the scene. A passenger in Surratt's car also died. 30-year-old Kelsey Greider. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, the Pentagon just got done with a hour-long press conference regarding the hits on Iran's nuclear, and they're still standing by how obliterated or destroyed or critical infrastructure all gone, and saying that the leaker, whoever leaked that, they're going after whoever inside the Defense Department. I mean, there's a zillion people, but they're trying to figure out who leaked some information, and then how would CNN reporter have any idea? It's under a bunch of rock.
Right.
Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, said, bring a big shovel because it's all down there.
I see.
And so it's, they had to put these 30,000-ton bombs in a vent from 13,000 feet, the size of a refrigerator.
Unbelievable.
How would you do that?
I don't know.
How would you know where, you could pinpoint where you want to go, but how do you see the refrigerator from 13,000 feet? Doesn't the wind have anything to do with anything, or are you just going down?
You'd think. And
it's shot like a missile, obviously, and it's hitting its target inside the vent. So it goes into the mountain underneath the ground, however far it goes, and then detonates. And we did 14 of those. I wouldn't think there'd be a lot left down there.
Right.
And, of course, Iran's coming out saying, nothing happened. We win.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just seeing the victory over Israel is a big slap in the face to the United States. You think we can't see past that statement?
They control the news and all that, but they don't control cell phones. And there's smartphones in Iran. Can they block everything? I don't know. Certainly, they'd be able to get the Greg Solier weather somewhere on their phone, I would think.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
This worldwide broadcast operation
exactly.
to run, right?
No, listen, people can listen to our show all over the world, unedited.
Yeah. It's that
and
internet
uncensored.
Thing, right?
Now that we're on X, uncensored.
Yes, and that's Stevie J A Y FM.
Yeah.
And actually on YouTube too, it's Stevie J A Y Show. And I spell it out because there is a rapper who just uses the initial.
Ridiculous. I'm 9 times older than he is.
So it's a little different.
And it's J initial.
It is.
I'm J-A-Y.
That's why I always say J-A-Y.
Yeah, and I'm way ahead of him.
And that is actually your middle name, right?
It is.
After all these years of us working together.
J-A-Y, middle name.
Okay.
Anyway, no, the fact that this rapper, it's not what I believe in, all the stuff.
I know. It's a polar opposite.
Come on, man.
Using just the initial.
Why don't you use your middle name, fella?
This is the real and authentic.
There you go.
That's right.
Heat advisory until 7 o'clock, Greg.
Yeah, and, we'll continue to deal with that around here, but this too shall pass. Rain is coming our way, and do we continue with the full broadcast, or do we have a sponsor this hour?
We have a sponsor. Thank you, sir. Look how sensitive he is to the business side of the business.
Okay, let me put my glasses on.
Yeah.
Kramer Siding and Window is small print here. Thank you for the heads up. So we've got 70 years of service in Central Illinois, and they can go to work with you to replace those drafty doors and windows, and you can check out 25% savings, kramersiding.com.
All right, our meteorologist Greg Soye available by appearances, and he can do speaking. Yeah, he does that for a large fee. Just check with me.
No, I don't.
You should.
Negotiable, depending on the size of the crowd.
You should. All right, we check the weather. Meteorologist Greg Soye with that heat here, sir.
Yeah, 3 till 7 heat advisory. Not necessarily, in our northern counties. I would beg to differ. That's, these advisories are put out by the National Weather Service. We think there's still a fair amount of smarts you got to put into the day-to-day with temperature and humidity in mind. But temps are easing down. Humidity kind of stays up, and that's the right ingredient to get ultimately better organized rains across the area. And we still have some work to do on the drought monitor side of the ledger for southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. But improvement has been noted in recent rains there, and big improvements noted through Nebraska and Iowa, and where the rains are coming on down at a healthy clip currently. We've got readings in the 70s. We'll top out in the next couple of days, a little north of 90. Humidity is up there in the mid-70 dew point range, so heat advisories are in effect until, again, this evening around 7 with about 100 to 103 in the heat index. And we do pop again a couple of thunderstorms in spots like we did late this morning and this afternoon. They'll linger tonight at 75. Better than even chances at rain tomorrow afternoon. Partly sunny, back up around or a little north of about 90. Upper 80s for the day on Saturday, but back to the low 90s on Sunday. Each day a shower thunderstorm, but the odds increase nicely. Widespread rains with showers, thunderstorms late Sunday, Monday. Monday high temperatures in the upper 80s, and we'll settle back into the middle 80s. The air dries out with nights in the 60s. Better sleeping weather next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For TVG Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soye.
And I'm sure you've seen the news from the draft last night. Illinois had 2 players go. Number 20, it was later than people thought. Kasparis Yakajonas, he is gone number 20. Will Riley right after him at 21 to Utah, and Will was traded immediately to the Washington Wizards. Kasparis will play his ball in South Florida, down in Miami, where they need a guard. They need a guy who can handle the ball. And even though he had a lot of turnovers the first semester, he was amazing, and then they figured something out, and he turned the ball over a lot. Other than that, he's a pro, man, and he's going to make a lot of money. He and Will have done very well, and they're both 18, or did Kasparis turn 19? So young.
I think his birthday isn't until December.
Okay,
no,
so
you know what? That might have been Duke's guy.
Cooper Flagg. Yeah, I think
he
so.
does.
Cooper Flagg is...
He's 18 now. He'll be 19.
Unbelievable.
December.
So the trend in the NBA is they want the teenager.
That's right.
They want to
and
develop
then they'll
the teenager.
train you.
Or get you beat around a little bit, because it's really hard to walk into an NBA these days and have an impact, just like everything else we've evolved. Mm-hmm. Would Kobe Bryant out of high school, would LeBron James out of high school done the same with other LeBrons and Kobe's, the late Kobe Bryant, and of course, it's
like
a
Kevin Durant was just traded, and you think, he's only 38, but he's been at it since he was like 18.
I think Kevin Durant had 1 year in college.
Right.
The guys that go from high school to college are pretty rare these days. The Europeans have been trying to get over here, and the money is so big, and now they can get paid in college. That's why we're seeing the Balkans come to Illinois.
Yep.
And why is that maybe a little different? Well, I don't think the Balkans come with an entourage. I think most American players now have a bunch of people because of the money.
And you could see that last night, too, in the announcements of, more of the European players when they were getting congratulated. There's just a small pot of people. And
not quite as many, maybe. Right. Yeah, I don't know.
But the Americans and the styles that they're wearing, and this is the show.
Man, who's the guy that had no shirt? Just the jacket and the bling, but there was no shirt. And if you got that kind of look, I guess you can rock it.
Why not?
But boy, some of my friends probably shouldn't do that without a shirt. So
I wouldn't recommend that look for you, Steve.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah. It's not recommended. Anyway, it was an exciting night for a lot of families and good for them, and I'm happy for them. I'm not jealous. I'm happy because I certainly could have gone pro basketball, and I got busy. That's the only reason. I just got busy. Let's check sports headlines.
Man, I'm just bringing it up because, of course, TMZ is on Who Stole the Show with Styles. And the man without the shirt was Arizona Wildcat standout Carter Bryant.
Yeah, Carter
elected
Bryant
to skip the shirt under
just
his
had
suit.
a suit jacket, but just bare chested and he look. But
Still, he looks so young.
Well, the problem with the style and the red carpets and all those things is that 90% of people shouldn't try that. 99% of people can't wear that. It's not big enough, and we're too old. So if you're like...
Well, now that I'm in it and seeing these pictures, wow. I mean, these diamonds and designer shades, and this one guy is opening up his jacket, and he's got all his favorite pictures of, some of his basketball moments lined inside of his suit. That's a cool idea.
Yeah,
to get that on the fabric.
Better idea having inside pictures of the people that helped you get where you are. As opposed to it's all about me.
Well...
Let me look at that. Look at that dunk. That dunk was real good. See, I see the styles, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm not 20.
And it could be that some of these pictures are the people that mean something to him.
Was he dunking over? Poster dunking somebody?
I can't see it really well.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah, they all got ready because it's like going to a lottery party where you're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And some made a little more lottery money, but this is exciting for very few families, but they made it, and however they got there, it's crazy.
I mean, you started the show with some of the statistics, and it's essentially 1 in 100 or something.
From college. These are college players, not kids. College players 1 in 100 make it, 1.5. I mean, it's nuts. It's just hard to do, so these kids get dressed up, and their dream has been realized. They're going to be millionaires. It's great. But they got to take care of their money because a whole lot of them spend it because they think it's going to keep coming.
That's
and
right.
Generally doesn't. So.
Mm-hmm. And not bad for Coach Brad Underwood to be a part of this again with a few players in the draft with Io in 21 going to the Bulls and Terrence Shannon Jr., Minnesota Timberwolves last year. So he's kind of getting the hang of it and was all grins yesterday.
Saw him hugging both.
Exactly.
So, cool.
So congratulations, Kasparas Yakachonis to the Miami Heat as pick number 20. And to the Washington Wizards after a Utah trade, number 21 was Will Riley. Go Illini. We also had the Cubs over the St. Louis Cardinals 8-0. That was a quick turnaround.
That was let me assert myself moment for the Chicago Cubs still leading the Central Division. And they certainly did. It was not competitive last night.
That's right. Well, Eric Fetty, I guess they just found... What did John Rooney say? Kept finding their bat.
Ricky Horton couldn't miss their bats. Good way to put
Eric
it.
Fetty is pitching. In fact, the leadoff homer from Ian Happ was great to see, too.
First pitch.
At least the Cubs feel a little redemption after getting beat the first 2 games. So it's a 1:15 start for Game 4 here on ESPN 93.5 for you Cardinal fans and over on US 105.9 for you Cubs fans. Chicago White Sox over Arizona 7-3 yesterday. Lucas Bird, the wrestler, and Takora Humphrey, track and field, were tapped as our Illinois Dyke Edelman Athletes of the Year. Congratulations and go Illini.
All right, now this message from Fisher National.
Thank you, Stevie. Invest in yourself with free rewards checking from Fisher National Bank. Instead of losing a little each month in fees, wouldn't it be nice to earn on your money? As you switch to Fisher National, they offer excellent annual percentage yields with no minimum balance or service fees. Make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have 1 direct deposit a month. It's as easy as that to maximize on your money with a bank ready to invest in you. Learn more at FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
All right, weather, meteorologist Greg Solier. One more turn at this heat wave stuff.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity, and the beat goes on. Some rainfall in spots yesterday in the form of a couple of downpours. Others missed on out. We'll do it again for the day-to-day. Increased rainfall chances tomorrow. Back them off for the day on Saturday. Pick them on up on Sunday to Monday. That's ahead of a cool front with drier air on the move and at least slightly cooler temperatures by Tuesday of next week. But up to 92 today. High humidity and a shower thunderstorm breaks out later this morning and more so this afternoon under a partly sunny sky in between. Warm and humid tonight down to 74. Lingering shower thunderstorm early and late. Tomorrow up to 60% odds for a late morning and afternoon. Shower thunderstorm, partly sunny, hot, humid, and 91. Near 90, more clouds and sun, heat and humidity, and a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Lesser odds for the day Saturday. Increasing odds Sunday to Monday with a high of 92 on Sunday, 89 Monday. Highs in the 80s, nights in the 60s. Drier air, less humidity next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There are mixed numbers on the economy. Durable goods orders for May jumped, rising 16.4%. The big jump reflects aircraft orders, excluding transportation. The increase was 0.5%. And new jobless claims for last week declined by 10,000 to 236,000. Though the gross domestic product, which measures the economy, has been revised lower for the first quarter to a decline of 0.5%. Spice maker McCormick, discount fashion retailer H&M, and Walgreens Boots Alliance all reported better than expected earnings this morning. General Motors is recalling thousands of Silverado trucks from the 2019 to 24 model years because a brake problem could result in a short or fire. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Thinking about selling your home? Well, you can always call the Nate Evans Group. Nate Evans Group sells homes. That's what they do. Carol recently needed to sell her home in Champaign. She called Nate. She wrote a 5-star Google review. Carol says Nate and his team were amazing to work with from start to finish by offering great staging advice, getting the house ready, and a proven listing strategy.
Yeah, the staging, the curbside appeal, plus that strong partnership with Zillow to create demand on your home. Are you ready to move on it? Do you want to get your home value as you head to nateevansgroup.com and start the process? It's super easy, and there's so many experienced agents on the team with Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. So just let them know and get the process started. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the NateEvansGroup.com.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Todd Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Just anecdotally, what I've noticed at the draft last night, when the families were interviewed, they interviewed like the top 10. After that, you didn't hear from Kasparis or Will Riley. But you're looking around saying, well, he doesn't look very tall. Cooper Flagg's supposed to be like 6'10" or whatever he is.
6'8".
Well, his whole family's tall.
Yeah.
But in comparison to his mom and dad, he was like, okay, a little taller, but not great. They're just, his mom was a 1,000-point basketball scorer in college.
Man.
So she has game. And his twin brother was in the back, and he looks a little shorter than Cooper Flagg. But imagine that kid is supposed to be going to the prom, left high school early, goes to Duke, and becomes the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. You know how good you have to be to do that? And then you're going to go battle as an 18-year-old in the fall. You're going to go battle 32-year-old men with families and a necessity to keep the money flowing. And here comes this snot-nosed high school kid. You got to take your job. Mm-hmm. They don't take to that.
You're right.
They don't really care who you are, how much hoopla. You're going to get my elbow, and you're going to get shoved around a bunch. Maybe not as bad as Caitlin Clark.
I was just thinking that and was going to add that. The Mean Girls in the WNBA has certainly been a storyline this season.
Carried into season 2. I kind of get it season 1. But as Mike Ditka used to say, stop it.
Right.
Anyway.
I mean, obviously, all boats rise with the tide. Why not ride the tide of great things for your sport and rise up, make more pay, and stop being a bully to this girl?
All I know is when Caitlin Clark goes to your town, people go see her.
Absolutely.
It's nuts. Anyway, they're seeing the new NBA, signees, just all very, very, very tall. If you've ever been around, you look at Brad Underwood on the sideline saying, yeah, what is he, about 5'10"? Brad's like 6'3" or 4. But he doesn't look very big because all the guys are so tall.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the NBA, everybody is it's just ridiculously
hard. Well, and for that
hard.
matter, Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, is 6'3".
I think he's got some heels. Cause, he looked taller than 6'3". But all these guys coming up don't look greatly taller than he.
Right.
David Stern, the former NBA guy, he was pretty short. But those pictures are better. Oh, look how tall. Hey, and then those old people go, hi, that's a tall kid. How tall? How tall is your shoe size? Where do you go for your shoe? Pay less? Where do you go?
Well, and there's things you could do. Yeah, David Stern is 5'9".
Yeah.
You could put a platform behind
I like the fact that
step up to it when you're talking.
I think Adam Silver's too tall. I think you should fire him and get a 5'8" guy, 5'9" guy, because it looks better for your sport.
Like you're a giant.
Hey, I have a big catch.
Okay, how about if Adam Silver drops down behind the podium and,
I think this should look super
short. Or you just raise the podium up a little bit.
Way more important to impress the world than to be actual height. We need them shorter. Okay, the news coming up. We'll call our pitmaster extraordinaire. His name is Tim Onstadt, and he will be coming up, and we'll get what he's got for our grill or smoker. So we'll do that. Hey, by the way, this is Thursday. It is June 26th.
And you can text in 359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line.
All right, a week from tomorrow is the 4th of July. Tolona Fun Days tomorrow and Saturday.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information, including repair quotes and online scheduling requests, available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. The Ayatollah emerges from his bunker in a video to the Iranian people, claiming victory over the U.S. and Israel, saying Operation Midnight Hammer against Iran's 3 nuclear sites didn't achieve much. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says U.S. intelligence shows the U.S. decimated Iran's nuclear program, set back years.
There are so many aspects of what our brave men and women did that, because of the hatred of this press corps, are undermined. Because your people are trying to leak and spin that it wasn't successful. It's irresponsible.
Hegseth says what the president accomplished at NATO was game-changing and historic. 32 nations boosting defense spending to 5%. Democrats in the Senate want to tie Trump's hands with a vote to require the president to seek approval from Congress before any future strikes against Iran. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign man charged in connection with the June 8 shooting that left a teen seriously hurt on the 200 block of Burr Oak Court June 8. 13-year-old with potentially life-threatening gunshot wounds. The second victim, a 15-year-old, suffered a gunshot wound to the hand. So far, the suspect's name not released. Champaign County coroner identified the 3 in a crash near Ludlow Tuesday. The driver of the pickup, 62-year-old Scott Moiser of Paxton. The driver of a car involved was 56-year-old Joyce Surratt of Ludlow. Both drivers died on the scene. A passenger in Surratt's car also died. 30-year-old Kelsey Greider. CDC confirming the first human case of West Nile virus in the state of Illinois. Person from southern Illinois hospitalized due to complications of the infection. So far this year, West Nile confirmed in 19 counties. The first positive mosquito batch of the year found May 9th in Rockford. Last year, there were 69 confirmed cases. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And the beat goes on with a roll the dice chance for some rainfall today. All or nothing, as was the case yesterday and the day before. Better odds with a weather system up aloft moving on through the heat and humidity tomorrow afternoon. Lesser rain chances on Saturday, then approaching cool front will generate more widespread rainfall. Sunday and Monday, relief in store. Mid to late next week with temperature and more so humidity in mind. Up to 92 today, partly sunny. Couple of showers and thunderstorms break out in spots later this morning. more so for the afternoon. Light south wind apart from the thunderstorm activity. Warm and humid tonight. Lingering shower thunderstorm chance this evening. And again, overnight, low down to 74. Partly sunny, hot, humid again for the day tomorrow up around 91. But the rain chances tomorrow afternoon increase to 60%. A couple of widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Lesser rain odds on Saturday at around 90. And showers and thunderstorms on the increase Sunday to Monday. 92 on Sunday. 89 on Monday. Drier air and in the 80s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group's Diana Foltz, recent recipient of Champaign County's Realtor of the Year.
Diana, how do you know you've been successful?
I know that when we are invited to personal events in their lives, first birthday parties, weddings, gatherings, we know that we've been more than just their realtor. We know that we've made these relationships deep and that it goes beyond just the sale of the house. And it speaks a lot to what we want, which is to serve our clients and to, be more friends than just a realtor.
Why do you like what you do?
I really enjoy helping either a buyer or seller to get to the next chapter. And they're relying on Reggie and I to help them achieve their next goal.
You're their realtor.
We're their realtor. It's Taylor Foltz team, Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group. You can find me on the internet at dianafoltz.com. Cell phone number is 217-840-4133. And my email is diana@dianafoltz.com.
From plumbing warriors to air conditioning conquerors, Classic Plumbing and Air is here to help your home feel better than ever. Whether it's a quick fix or a full system upgrade, they'll show up with the tools, the tech, and the tenacity to get the job done right. Locally owned and operated, they deliver plumbing, cooling, and comfort. Call 217-586-7473 or visit classicplum.com. Classic Plumbing and Air, plumbing, cooling, and comfort. Visit them at classicplum.com.
And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's Grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Always thinking of new ways to make things better. That's why he's a champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from Gale Forex Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, Mr. Tim Onstadt. 4th of July is a week from tomorrow. Do you do much on the 4th there, fella?
Well, that is sometimes. We that is kind of a special holiday for us. That's Don and I's wedding anniversary.
No kidding.
July 3rd.
I'll be darned. Huh.
Yep. We did it up all 4th of July style. She dressed as the Statue of Liberty, and I was Uncle Sam.
Nice.
Well, there you go. Yeah. And that was on the 4th or the 3rd?
That was on the 3rd.
I got you. Okay.
So, but we still did it. It was a good time. But,
that's awesome.
And it's worked out. 21 years later, we're still.
How about that?
Still fighting.
Yep. That's good stuff. All right. So you do have a few ideas for the 4th?
Well, one of the things that goes along with the 4th that nobody thinks about as grilling is watermelon.
Yeah.
And grilled watermelon.
Really?
Yes, that is a delicacy, and it's pretty easy to do. We just slice the watermelon about inch and a half thick, big, thicker slices.
Yeah.
Want to season those up with, and you want the little triangle, the classic triangle watermelon slice.
Yep.
Want to season it up with some lime and some Tony Cheshires. And this works best on a charcoal grill because you get that smoky flavor. Yeah. You can do it on a gas grill, but it's just not quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to get that grill hot and lay those seasoned slices on there only for about 2 to 3 minutes. Don't overcook it. It'll get mushy. 2 to 3 minutes, flip it over. Should have some good grill marks on there. And it's just enough heat to release the flavors of those spices. Flip it over, do it on the other side, pull it off, let it set for a couple of minutes, and dig in. It's great.
I have never, ever thought of that. I've never tasted one. And you say Tony Cheshires, which nobody can spell. The guy should have, marketing-wise, said Tony Brooks. Okay, because I can't spell it.
But he's obviously a Louisiana kind of spices guy.
Then
so.
LeBeau, L-O-B-O. I mean, something easier, fella. I mean, dang it. Anyway.
And if you don't have that, just do some lime juice and a little bit of cayenne pepper. That'll work too.
Okay, and again, 2-3 minutes per side. But then I want a more ripe watermelon for this guy.
Yeah, you got to have a ripe watermelon. You want to leave the rind on. That helps hold it all together.
Right.
And just enough to get the grill marks and release the flavors of the spices.
Well, it's a great idea, and it's simple to do, and I think we ought to try that when I have the grill on. I want to do that for sure. And then, see, and there's a watermelon. It's always cold, man. This is a new era.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be done. And 94% of a watermelon is water, I think.
Yes. Yeah, so you can't cook it very long or it'll get mushy.
Gotcha.
And we also do, if we're having, and this is great with pork chops, we get pineapple spears, and we put those on the grill just for a few minutes and roll those over on the grates and get good grill marks in there, and pineapple spears are great on the grill.
We do that as well. You don't touch them with lime or anything, right? With that, it wouldn't work, would it?
No, but we do sprinkle it with some seasoning, some Cheshire.
How do you spell Cheshire? Any idea how to spell Cheshire? Starts with a C.
And I think they say Sasheries, but down south. But anyway, I'm going to type it in here.
It starts with a C. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, it's good. We've had that before because you told me to get it.
I don't even know how to try to spell it online.
See, terrible marketing. Tony Brooks, let's go. Come on, man, change your name. Anyway, it's Cheshire's.
It's C-H-A.
C-H-A.
C-H-E-R-E.
C-H-A is Cheshire?
And we say Sashery down in Louisiana when I spent most of the 90s.
Tim and I are Northerners, so we'll say Cheshire.
The authentic Creole flavoring, making everything taste great.
All right. So, Tim, what about dedicated diesel and Dixie Chopper? Anything to report here?
Oh, we got mowers and different from the big box stores. Our guys service the mowers. We've got a great warranty. If you got a problem, you can come, call, check it out. Our guys will take care of it. Great program with those Dixie choppers.
I think you want
world's fastest mower.
World's fastest mower, but when you buy something like that, the big box places, I see they have the wire through the steering wheel so you can't steal them. But aren't they out overnight? I wouldn't do that. I mean, why would you?
I don't know. I do know that when you buy a brand name like a John Deere or whatever, somebody else makes that mower, and they're just licensing the name and the paint.
Okay.
And you would have, I have never experienced it, but I would imagine you'd have a little bit of pushback if you're getting something like that rather than one from a John Deere dealer.
Yeah, right.
And it might be a little bit more difficult to get service.
If you're going to spend $5,000 or $10,000 on a mower, you want a guy that can repair it. And you got a guy, Andy is his name, and he's over there in Urbana. You got to have a person that will. It's just you got to have one. So I totally
get with Andy, and we'll get you the best deal that you can possibly get on the world's fastest mower, a Dixie Chopper. His number is 217-328-0562. They're at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. Stop in and see them, see what they've got. I guarantee you it'll be the lowest prices. If not, call me direct, 765-793-7131, and I will make sure that you get the best price you can get.
So how do you do Gale Ferrick's trucking 4th of July stuff?
We get everybody home.
Nice.
Our guys will all be... The week is not completely planned yet, but our goal is to get everybody in on the 3rd so that they have time to relax with their families, have a good weekend. Some of them will be going out Sundays to make the Monday deliveries, but they're all going to get that good weekend at home. And they get if they've been here for 90 days, they get holiday pay, so they're not losing a few days of work just to be home. We do pay holiday pay. Have a spot for a guy or lady that wants to have those advantages, make good money, be home, and spend family time.
Sounds awesome. Okay, how can people reach you, Tim Onstock?
They can call me at 765-793-7131. We do have a new auto answering system, so they can get into that and dial 4 for safety and recruiting and talk direct to me. They can email me at timo@gftlog.com. We'll get them set up.
You the man. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for the watermelon tip. I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, we'll be back next week and tell you all about my Tuesday cook. We're cooking for a customer over there and in Urbana, and I haven't asked permission to say this from Mr. Hall, the president of A&R Mechanical, but it's their 100th anniversary, and they've asked me to come and cook some briskets for their employees, and we're going to go over there and have a good time and get some lunch going for them on the 2nd on Tuesday.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, we got A&R all over our radio, and we're excited for their 100th. Amazing how they've been around.
1925.
Yep. That's fantastic.
They're just a great company.
Yeah, they are, and Steve Hall's a great guy, and that'll be a wonderful, lucky. I wonder if I could apply for employment
or maybe
there.
We could do
I
just
could apply
wear an apron.
No, I could apply for employment today, get the job Monday, quit Wednesday.
Okay.
Well, Stevie, all you got to do is meet me over there at 3:00 in the morning, and you can help cook, and you can taste. You can be the sampler.
Yeah, let me get back to you on that 3 a.m. thing. Hey, listen, I can't wait. I'll probably see you next week then, Tim. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Talk soon. Tim Onstadt, Gale for X Trucking, dedicated diesel. Or Deedle. Quarter till ESPN on 93.5. Some sports headlines and weather still to come.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
It's great when hard work and experience are recognized. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. I am thrilled to share that Fisher National has been ranked 7th in the nation as a top lender in mortgage loans among banks with asset size of $300 million to $1 billion by our National Banking Association. This recognition is a testament to our lending team's dedication and expertise. After all, better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. If you're in the market for a new home or considering refinancing your existing home, let our team at Fisher National Bank earn your business and trust. We offer competitive rates with low closing costs, and we locally service almost all of our loans. Come see us with all your home mortgage needs and experience the top-notch service that has earned us national recognition. Learn more at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, baseball fans, step up to the plate like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high app limits, low holds, exceptional customer service, and more. Whether you're betting with the home team or scouting the next big matchup, take your swing with the Circa Sports app. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com.
All right, sports headlines, Diane Ducey.
Sorry, Stevie. I'm managing some things for Fun Day. It's
Cow
the all-important Cow Drop notebook.
Yeah.
I'm down to the last few squares
You
for
want to
$10
guess
each.
where the cow's going to the bathroom?
That's
you can
right.
actually win money in Tolono on that one. So
On Saturday. And we have a miniature cow this year that we'll put in that pen at Westside Park after the parade and find out where the cow goes number 2.
It's all electronic. I don't have to paint the grass.
That's right.
Yeah,
we
very
have
nice.
this grid that's on an iPad, and it mixes up the numbers on the squares.
You don't know where you are.
That's right.
They announce it.
And so then after, and if it's a miniature cow, is that more like a little Tootsie Roll?
I have no idea. I am not well
Is that going to
versed.
be harder to find on which square it is?
I am not
There
well
was
versed.
one year that it was over the line and stuff, and
Well,
so
what do you do with that?
we divided up the prize according to how much was in the squares.
Wow. I would like to see that on instant replay, please. Let's take a look at the grid.
That's right.
Yeah.
So in any case, we had the NBA draft, and congratulations to the first ever one and done players for our Illini. Kasparas Shakachonis with the Miami Heat as the pick number 20, and then right after that, Will Riley, Washington Wizards, after a trade with Utah at number 21. So we're thinking, what, around $17 million for these boys?
Something like that, and that's a 4-year deal, and yeah, it's good money.
And that's all our Illini program had, right? I know that Duke and Rutgers also had numerous players in it.
Well, Duke had 3 in the top 10, and I don't know.
Man.
I don't think anybody else in the first round. But.
So Cooper Flagg at 6'8", the 18-year-old with Duke, went to the Dallas Mavericks as the number 1 pick. And we've done this before. In '89, Nick Anderson, Kenny Battle. In '05, 20 years ago with Darren Williams and Luther Head. So
first round, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Looks good. I know the Dyke Edelman Award. So who got the tap? Wrestler Lucas Bird and Takora Humphrey with track and field. Cubs over the Cardinals 8-0 yesterday. We'll find out what happens for Game 4 out of Busch with a 1:15 start. Hear the action over on US 105.9 if you're a Cubs fan, or hear your Cardinals affiliate, ESPN 93.5.
All right, we'll check Greg's weather one more time and get her going for you before we leave here. Don't forget this afternoon, it's Cardinal baseball, Cardinals and Cubs. Mm-hmm. You have your choice of broadcast. You want John Rooney, it's here on ESPN 93.5. 1:15 for the first start, 12:20 pregame for the Cardinals. And then the Cubbies go on the air about 12:45, I think, on US 105.9. If
That's accurate.
Pat Hughes, 1:15 first pitch, and that takes out the sports guys this afternoon on the drive. And then they'll be back tomorrow.
Yesterday was the Illini Day, so the spotlight on the Illini. I think it was a cap yesterday as their giveaway, and you know they brought out all the promotional items when I was in the Jack Buck Studios on the opening day. So fun to be a part of that and have the promotions people bringing up all these goodies that they were handing out. So go Illini!
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And the beat goes on with a roll of the dice chance for some rainfall today. All or nothing, as was the case yesterday and the day before. Better odds with a weather system up aloft, moving on through the heat and humidity tomorrow afternoon. Lesser rain chances on Saturday, then approaching cool front will generate more widespread rainfall. Sunday, Monday, relief in store. Mid to late next week with temperature and more so humidity in mind. Up to 92 today, partly sunny. Couple of showers and thunderstorms break out in spots later this morning. More so for the afternoon. Light south wind apart from the thunderstorm activity. Warm and humid tonight. Lingering shower thunderstorm chance this evening. And again overnight, low down to 74. Partly sunny, hot, humid again for the day tomorrow up around 91. But the rain chances tomorrow afternoon increase to 60%. A couple of widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Lesser rain odds on Saturday at around 90. And showers and thunderstorms on the increase Sunday to Monday. 92 on Sunday. 89 on Monday. Drier air and in the 80s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgate.
Is it a crime to rile up a gang to fight ICE? Because that's what this vice mayor of Cudahy, California did. You've heard the clip. Don't talk to me if you're not going to defend your territory. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
It's not their territory. It's our territory.
It's America.
It's unreal. And so she's, I don't know. Maybe she's getting paid by a cartel.
That's right. That's what I
don't know.
That's my first thought.
Because Donald Trump has designated cartels as terrorists. That means we can bomb them.
But people need to have consequences to these kind of words. And
No
to me,
question.
if
No.
you're riling people up in any kind of way, in my own hometown of Tolono, there was a new parent ordinance passed inside the last few weeks because there's been some issues with park vandalism. So if you're not watching your kid, maybe you should take the hit for repairing all these damages. I don't know.
So what does that mean, parent ordinance?
It means be responsible for your kids.
Can you do that in a village where you can charge the parent? I don't think so.
That's what we're saying, though.
If you got a Tolono Police Department, and you do.
Right.
I don't know. It's constitutional. I've heard that where you're going to say, okay, we're going to make the parents liable.
Right.
And responsible and arrestable. But so you've got some little park damage in some of the toilets, I guess. Yeah, it's just so dumb.
It is.
So dumb.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Well, this mayor who's stirring people up to go and protest against...
No. Fight. Bring your weapons. This is not protest.
It's bad.
So don't talk to me if you're not going to defend your territory. What are you talking about?
Right.
Anyway, it's one of those, again, dizzying things. And I think the mayoral candidate that is a socialist, maybe communist, could be the next mayor of New York. Anti-police, anti-Jew. What are they doing? Anti-police will make it a very nice city to visit, right?
Right.
What are you thinking?
Ugh.
Diane, we thank you.
Okay, thanks for this round of therapy, Stevie.
We'll
Enjoy
talk,
your day.
You betcha. Tolono Fun Days tomorrow and Saturday. Have more tomorrow morning. All right, I am Stevie J. That is Diane Ducey. Thank you for listening. Have a great Thursday.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Racing. Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheeseburgers, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
Hey Illini fans, it's Luke Altmaier here, starting quarterback for your Fighting Illini football team.
Get to him, he's going to run right, he's in! Touchdown! Touchdown, Illinois! Luke Altmaier, what a throw by Altmaier! Altmaier's big time.
We invite you to be a part of the action this year at Memorial Stadium. After a 10-win season and a Citrus Bowl victory, get your season tickets now for 2025 and make this season unforgettable.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get